Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you're new here, and in this video I'm going to just give you a quick little tour of our homeschool room this year, or kind of rooms. As you can see in the title of the video, we live in a pretty small house. I think it's around 1,000 square feet, and we are now a family of 6. So we have 4 kids, 7 and under. And so I have to keep our house pretty minimal to make sure that the clutter doesn't keep getting on top of us. And so I do the same thing with our homeschool, and so maybe you can find some helpful tips in this video if you also have a small house, or if not, maybe sometimes it's fun to just see how other people set up their homeschool. The way that I have our homeschool set up is this behind me. You'll see is most of our homeschool stuff that we use regularly, and then I have a couple other places in the house where I just keep like things stored in case we need them, but they're not things that we use regularly. So we have, this room is our dining room slash homeschool room. So I tried to keep it a little bit less kind of in your face when it comes to homeschool stuff. There's certainly homeschool stuff in here, but I tried to keep the artwork a bit more dining room-ish so that it is a blend of the two. But I will hop into the video now, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so when you walk into our room here, our front door is off to the left here, and this is obviously our dining room, and then our schoolroom as well. So most of our stuff for school that we use daily is in this room. We have up top here, up in that basket, I have some activities for my 3-year-old. Then we have just some extra scissors, colored pencils. I have to restock this. We had like extra regular pencils in there. Obviously our little globe, our pencil sharpener, and our stapler are up here because I don't like the kids having access to that at all times. This basket here is filled with, I do need to restock it a little bit. I have some of their new books in here, but we still have old books in here. But I'll have to redo it for the new school year. But this is all of their workbooks. So their independent workbooks all go in here. And then I'll show you the teacher's guide is separate from here. And then I have this little caddy of this, a little bit messy right now, but there's some card games that we like to play, some glue, highlighters, dry erase, stuff like that. These are all of our Sunlight Science books. And then as you can see here, this is the Good and the Beautiful Science. I just kind of threw it in here because this was our science section. And then I didn't have any space in this basket for this, so I put it over here. I might put it in the basket later, but we have our preschool morning binder in here, and the kindergarten morning binder here, so it's easy access. And then we just have the little ruler tucked away in here, and then down the next shelf we have all of our Sunlight history and literature right here. And then this is our Sunlight Science box that has all of the supplies that we need for all of the experiments. And then we just have this game here on top that's easy to grab so we can practice with my younger ones. And then just under that, I never got around to binding this, but I do want to do that before this next school year, I think, is just all of the science papers that they have like the question and answers to. I'd like to bind those together. I haven't actually written on any of them because I'm going to reuse the curriculum with my younger two probably, and so I didn't want to write on them. Also, if I wanted to sell it, it's just at this age we did it orally anyway, so there was really no sense in writing on it. But that's sitting on top because this is, like I said, our science stuff, so in case I want to grab it real quick there. And then down here I have all of like my stuff essentially. I have all of our teachers' guides here. We have now 2nd grade and kindergarten math with confidence, the teacher's manual, 1st and 2nd level of all about reading, where the 2nd grade or the 2nd level my older son was using. By the time we start next school year, I probably won't have this in here, so I'll probably store it away somewhere else. But my youngest son is just starting this one a little bit here and there, but this year I'll definitely be pulling that out for him. And then both of these binders are the activities that I cut up and put in page protectors so that we could just reuse them. I take out the one that we need and then put it back in. And then these two tiny books on the end are the science teacher's manuals. And then here I have just activities for the kids. There's some coloring books. These are actually the page protectors. They're just extras in here. And then I have some regular lined paper and then construction paper that the kids mostly have used through. So I kind of need to buy some more of those. So that's what we've got on that shelf. And then this shelf, we have the kindergarten math box. This is the math box for Math with Confidence, and then extra supplies here. There's a calculator, some empty flashcards for when we need them. And then in this section here, I have technically my teacher's manual for Sunlight Literature, which I think I'll probably move to the cabinet behind me, which I will show you. And this section is going to be books that we're going to be grabbing regularly for the Curious Kinder, and then the preschool curriculum that I have. I'm gonna, I think, just keep them there because they are read multiple times throughout the week, and so I think that will be a good place to have that. But that's what I have stored here. Okay, so then if you kind of swing to the other side of our room here, this is actually a new piece of furniture, which I need to clean because you can see all the little kids' handprints here. We just got this where I have on top here, this is kind of like our morning basket type things. I have obviously colored pencils and regular pencils and that kind of thing. And then we have our Bible, and then this is another Bible resource that we have, and our devotional. And then I have some of like Shani's independent reading in here. And then in this top drawer, I am going to put miscellaneous kind of homeschool supplies. Like I have the All About Reading flashcards in this drawer, and then like the little odds and ends that you just need to put a place. Down here I have actually our shoes, because we don't have a coat closet, so we have shoes in here, and then grocery bags. But I'm considering clearing off this top shelf and putting some books in here too, like the ones that we're going to regularly use instead of in that other cabinet, because there's a lot more space over here. On this side is actually our garbage can. So that's this room. And then if you swing around, this side is our kitchen. And then I have just in these two cabinets down here, I have our binding machine on the bottom here. And then on the top is just kitchen supplies. But down here I have the binding machine, the laminator, and then the pieces that you put on for the laminator, and then that sort of thing in here. And then if you kind of walk through the house, you have the living room in here, and then you go around here, we have kind of like a desk / office area. And then over here I have just this for storage mostly. Let me back up here. There's obviously our printer is on here. So then starting at the top, this is empty, so I can use that for whatever I will need across the year, maybe some schoolwork I want to save or something like that. Our 3-hole punches there, some puzzles. This is like the classic little counting, color, shape sorting thing. This is for Shane's math, different counting sticks and that sort of thing. So these are just different thicknesses of paper. And then I have in here different math supplies and stuff, some fake money, some shapes, counters, and then I have my daughter's preschool curriculum, extra ones that we're not using at the time. And then down here next to the printer, I have Shane's, these aren't all of them, I think they took them upstairs, but Shane's reading curriculum, his Sunlight Readers for the year. And then in here, I just have various office supplies, which is quite messy right now. And then in the bottom here, I have extra curriculum that we're either going to use this year or just in the future at some point. This is the Curious Kinder in here. I need to bring them into the other room. These are various books that my daughter just likes to pretend to use. Our readers, this is from The Good and the Beautiful, and then these are All About Reading readers. And then I have just some like old curriculum or curriculum that we're using next year, like The Good and the Beautiful math, language arts, This is Riley's Thick and the Beautiful, a creative writing book, and then just some other workbooks. And then in that box there I have different reading games and stuff that I'm going to use with my younger son, and then I have different Bibles and different curriculum and stuff like that for Bible and down here. So that is the end of this video. I hope that it maybe was helpful. I can try to link as many things below as I can. If there's something though that I didn't link and you are interested in where I got it from, just leave a comment and I will definitely get back to you. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.